You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Hello and happy Friday. Welcome to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, the variety show. You never know what you're going to get on this program, but I can tell you one thing, you will be laughing and you will be glad that you stopped by. So come and see us every Friday. I'm here with my co-host, Lori Mendelsohn. I am your host and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I am a certified life, career, yoga, and meditation coach. And when I'm not doing that, I'm writing a book. So stay tuned. There's more on that. Let's bring my co-host, Lori Mendelsohn, on to join me. Hello, Lori. How are you?
Hi, Dr. Jacalyn. Good evening. So great to be here on a Friday night with you.
Absolutely.
You're my girl. You're my date.
I know. You're my date too.
But you're my date. You're my main date.
I'm so glad I'm able to steal you from Clubhouse. It's like a, back and forth. You're over there. You're doing a great job. And I'm glad you have time for us over here.
Thank you. But let's not forget our America's favorite dog.
Let's hear from Zeke. Hello, Zeke. How are you? Hi, Zeke. Don't be shy. Hi, Zeke.
I'm sorry. There he is.
Yeah, I said to you before, he really gets around because he was on the other side. Now he's over here. Now he just left. He's on the move.
Okay.
Friday night action going on there. I like it.
Dr. Jacalyn, he can't sit still. I mean, he knows that I'm nervous, so that's why I think that he's next to me all the time. So,
well,
always petting him.
I'm not going to go into any specifics, but I shared with you that there's been a lot of excitement about your picture that's on my Facebook page. So you're getting some international recognition. So,
Jacalyn, I thought it would be kind of fun, maybe for one of your shows, that we do a dating game, that we bring on 3 bachelors.
Yes.
And do a dating game. And maybe I don't see them, and maybe you guys see them, and I get to ask the questions.
I love it.
But, maybe we could try something like that.
So question. So will the men be men that we use a matchmaker, someone else to select? Will they be men that I find? Or what do you think?
Well, I think it'd be nice if they were in my local area, or, at least Chicago. So maybe, we can get a call for men in the Chicago area from this age group to this age group who would like to be on a TV show and date a matchmaker, or
yes,
date a bachelorette, or whatever. So
let's start. That's a genius idea. I love it. This is why I love working with you. It's tremendous. And I want to let people know, and I said this to you before, but Lori is so thoughtful, so kind. She was the first person to contact me on my birthday last week. She was the first card I received, and her handwriting is gorgeous. I said to my mom, do you really think a person wrote this? My mom said, I think it's a machine. Like, no, Mom, a person wrote it. Lori wrote it. So that's just another one of the beautiful things about you. So would you share with our audience what it is you do and how they can get in touch with you?
Yes, I would love to. So again, my name is Lori, and I'm a dating coach and a matchmaker in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. And what I do is really hone in on people who are over 50 and who are divorced or are separated, and they're starting the next chapter in their life. And they really don't know what to do because they've been married for 20 to 30 years. They really haven't dated, in 30 years or so. They just really don't know what to do. So I help them get their head on straight, feeling good about themselves, and so they can go back into the dating pool with confidence and clarity.
That's such important work that you're doing. Thank you for that. Because when you've been out of the dating world for a while, it's intimidating. And also coming out of COVID, right? Being in a lockdown, you're all by yourself, and now it's like, oh, hello world. I told you I'm getting my face. I'm going to get my face done. Thank you, God. Please let me make the appointment.
Dr. Jacalyn, about a month ago, I went to a coffee shop, and I hadn't been to a coffee shop for quite some time. And I stood at the cash register, and she's just staring at me. And I had actually forgotten how to order coffee. Imagine dating. If you can't order coffee, how are you going to get on dates? So.
Well, listen, from what I've seen on Facebook, on my Facebook page, there are guys out there they will get you your coffee, my friend. You don't have to worry. You might have to take an international trip, it seems, for a lot of these guys, but that's okay. So tell me about our guest today.
Yeah, so I know Taren from a local women's community. This woman knows how to fulfill every single minute of your day and how to make it productive, how to plan, how not to waste 1 minute of your time. And she is a force to be reckoned with. She is absolutely amazing. So I know that everybody wants to hear her secret, how to really get organized and how to make best use of your day and not waste time and not spend countless hours on Clubhouse, right? Also known as the rabbit hole.
So let's welcome TikTok It's Time, Taren Sartler. She's joining us from the Milwaukee area as well, right?
I am. Good evening, Dr. Jacalyn. Hi, Lori again.
Hello.
Good to see you ladies.
I am so thrilled to meet the goddess of time. I've been waiting to meet the goddess of time. How did you come up with this name, or did someone name you this?
Twofold stories. So it started with speaking a lot in the local community, speaking on, especially, since the whole Safer at Home started, in virtual platforms, and being dubbed the Time Lord, which was fun and funny until I realized I wanted something more feminine. And I also struggled with the term coach, because I would never call myself a coach in the way that I practice with my clients and the way that I practice with teams and associations. And so I was trying to figure out, what is that title you put on your business card? And I went, heck, Time Lord, goddess of time. I don't need anything other than that. It's self-explanatory. It gets to the premise, or really the meat and potatoes of what it is that I help my clients do. And it's fun. And I don't know how to not have fun. I'm a giant child at heart. So.
And you know what? And I said this to Lori when I met her. You have the same thing. You're just radiating this glow, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Oh, thank you.
I just thought of another side business for you, Taren, which could be the priestess of PowerPoint, when you want to go into that neck of the woods. But
yeah, I need some technical help from some friends to make that happen.
Well, there's plenty of ways to connect with people now, right? It seems like that's what we're doing all the time. I love
Hands
it.
down. Same.
Yeah. Taren, I would love to know how you got so good at what you do. What is your story?
Ooh, let's go back a handful of years. So we're starting go way back, actually. So my daughter and son are now 25 and 21. Give you a reference on time frame. I was married young and unexpectedly divorced young. My daughter was 8 weeks old the last time we saw my ex-husband. And so our family unit became 3 really, really quickly. And I was working in sort of like an hourly wage. I was an optician, actually, a nurse for an eye doctor at the time. And I knew I wanted to make more. I knew I was worth more, but I was so afraid to take that first step and go do something, because what does that mean? Sales, where commissions or pay is undetermined, becoming a solopreneur, an entrepreneur of some sort. And I finally just one day decided to take action. But I knew right away the only way to be successful was to manage my calendar so I could make the success I wanted of myself, but still be able to put food on the table, pay the bills, and then be present for my kids, being as young as they were, in the way that they needed and deserved me to be. And then fast forward, here we are 21, 22 years later. And it really has been, the first handful of years was research, studying. I took a certification course in a consulting program, reading every book I could get my hands on. I have a slew of them. I have a whole library of books I could give people on productivity and time management. And then a lot of trial and error. And what I realized is systems are the solution. So I started writing everything down so it's turnkey, and it truly turned it into a systems, habits, disciplines, and something that other people can learn if they're willing.
I love that. It's so important to be productive. And if we think about the workflows that we have, I know I found it myself when I started this platform. I was totally ineffective in a lot of ways because you're so used to doing things the way you're used to doing them. And
change is hard. Change is hard, but life was meant to be lived. And I see so many people living in the rat race, right? I want to work hard, make money now so I can eventually live this life I want to live. Why not start now? If you can do it all and still, Lori mentioned, don't waste a minute of your day. Well, some of that's just self-care, social time, right? They all count. Every minute counts. But do what you love to do in life and then maybe try to figure out how to do it for a living.
Yes, there it is. I love that. Do what you love to do.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Taren, what is a good hack for people to not go down rabbit holes? Because, with social media now, I mean, when I was much younger, there was no such thing. And we all do it. We all could spend hours on Facebook, right? People that, we knew 40 years ago, trying to find them, or now with Clubhouse, which you could just spend all day listening to, sitting in rooms. But how do you stop yourself from doing that and refocusing your energy? That's what I would really love to know, because I do that.
Yeah, great question, especially if it's during business hours, right?
Yes.
And whatever that means, if you're self-employed or in sales, you could work any time of day. So business hours could be all over. But if you're wanting to be focused on something else and you find yourself sort of slipping down that rabbit hole, the number one thing I would say, actually one, schedule it in. So if you have to be on social media for business purposes, schedule in that time, whether it's prospecting, engagement, right? Whatever that looks like. Mm-hmm. And then when you're not on social media for business purposes, turn all of your indicators off. Don't turn it off on the computer, turn it off on the phone, turn your phone upside down. We're American. We want instant gratification. And we see that little light dinging. We want to figure out what it is. Boom, rabbit hole. So turn the phone upside down or throw it in a drawer. But the number one hack is to use a timer for the scheduled amount of time, and it has to tick. That is actually the background of the name of the company. So TikTok, it's about time. A lot of people are familiar with the Pomodoro technique, the Italian tomato timer, right? 30 minutes on a task, 30 minutes off. This is a little bit different because if you want to spend an hour on a task, it could be paperwork or checking emails, anything that takes you down that rabbit hole. But think about it. You're working and you hear that ticking. And it does two things. One, your brain is going to mentally race against the clock. So you'll get more done in the same amount of time because your brain knows that there's an end to the ticking. So it wants to finish, right? The other thing it does is as you're traveling down that rabbit hole, your brain's going to try and sort of drone that ticking out because it's a little annoying, but it will come back to focus. All of a sudden you'll hear it again. And it will bring you back to focus, and it will be your personal alert to go, oh, wait, I'm not supposed to be doing this right now. I'll check out my cousin's dog's funny video later. Right now, I need to get back to work.
I really like that snapping. Do you think you could come to New Jersey? I like that. I felt like, yeah.
Right. You could. So I saw singer, right? Hashtag singer, or you're into music. Use a metronome.
The thing that goes for the
yeah. That would be more pacifying and slower than your standard ticking timer. Yeah.
Or
great idea.
Our guest from last week, we could have her drumming instead of so we could do a combination.
Yes. Reunion. Okay, I like it. No, actually, I'm going to go and buy that. I'm making a note for myself. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. So you can get off Amazon, $4 or $5 kitchen egg timer is all I use. I have one on my home office desk. I have one at the office. And if I'm out and about and doing something that I want to time myself on, I have a little app on my phone. I have an Android, and it's just called Kitchen Timer Plus. Yeah. I'm sure there's one for iPhone as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See that? Wow. See that, global audience?
Yeah.
Listen to what you just heard.
Simplest things. It's making life easy, right? It's not about major technologies and relearning all new habits. It's just simple little tricks.
Mm-hmm. Now, Taren, I have another question for you. I remember when you were doing the presentation at eWomen Network, mm-hmm. we were talking about answering or not answering emails certain times of the day or for certain periods or certain amounts of time that you spend on email. Can you share that with us, please?
Absolutely. So the email box is another thing that's a rabbit hole, right? You could spend hours between emails from all of your colleagues, staff, friends, family, but then throw in all of the spam we get and all of the solicitations. Maybe you have industry feed coming in. So definitely set rules and use folders, and that's an entirely different topic. And there's some tools that I could talk about that makes that a little bit easier. But I really recommend for most people to not check their inbox more than 2 to 3 times a day. 3 times is usually the max. And that gets a lot of people a little like anxious when they hear me say that. But we put so much pressure on ourselves to be extremely responsive, to give the best customer service, to be there for our people. But if you step back and think about it from your customer, consumer's point of view, or even a family member, if you were to send an email to a provider of yours and they didn't respond until 11 in the morning or 1 o'clock in the afternoon and you had sent it that morning, you're really not that put off. And if it was something of high importance, you're probably not emailing anyway. You're using an instant message, you're calling, you're finding a means to get a hold of them faster than the response time. So we just have to give ourselves some grace. And another way to sort of take the pressure off of ourselves when we want to look at the inbox, we're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how many customers have been trying to get a hold of me between my morning check and my midday check, is to put, those out of office responses on. Just have one on your email at all times that says, thank you for your email. If it's an immediate concern, please, call this number, get a hold of this person, whatever it is. I check my emails at 8 a.m., 12 p.m., and 5 p.m. every day. I'll get back to you during my next interval. Most people are really okay with that.
Excellent.
Interesting. We have to take a break, but when we come back, I would like to talk to you about organizing the emails into folders, because I need to do that and I am not able to do it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But okay, stay with us. We're going to hear from one of our sponsors. We've got a new sponsor who's a big fan of the show. Her name is Diane Floyd Boehm, and we produced this commercial for her, Dr. Jacalyn LLC. So let's take a look.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Story Garden. Your host, Diane Boehm. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Diane Floyd Boehm tells wonderful stories that warm the heart, spark the imagination, and unite people and families across generations. For children, Diane's Harry the Camel connects with all of us who've ever wondered how different our lives might have been if only we'd been born something better, like a wonderful horse instead of an ordinary camel. In the end, we all learn along with Harry that there's nothing better than just being yourself. Diane's Little Girl in the Moon looks down on earthbound children and wonders if they know she's just like them. A story of love, home, and the bond between mother and daughter, its powerful theme that we're each of us different yet all of us the same plants a seed in children that promises to blossom within a loving and trusting grown-up. Diane's new biography, Rise, recounts the experiences of her grandmother, Ruby, to reveal the hidden strength of the human spirit. Ruby's story inspires all of us to become the best versions of ourselves. You'll find all of Diane's delightful books and much more at DianeFloydBoehm.com. Visit DianeFloydBoehm.com. That's DianeFloydBoehm.com.
Networking sucks and people suck at it, but nothing gives me more life than walking around and talking to people in an audience and really being able to identify, okay, I see where you're having trouble, let's work on fixing it. How do you help them? How do you provide value? My goal is to give them those tools to be able to go out and tackle that fear. Anywhere there's coffee is where I'll be. So I bring candy a lot to my speaking engagements. Of course that makes sense. I'm a little unconventional.
Ashley was very knowledgeable.
Very entertaining.
I learned a few new things, and to me that's the key.
What do you want them to say? How do you want to be perceived? You're going to get the most direct, tactical tips and practical takeaways when it comes to networking. These two here are super important. You'll remember once the conversation starts.
I love the tips that she gave out. I hate networking with a passion, so I feel like I can go through a meeting or event and not feel so uncomfortable.
When you're going to a presentation, you want to be educated. You also want to be entertained.
She was really fun and really personable, and everything she was saying was just very relatable.
She's got a lot of great ideas.
That will make you stand out so fast.
She comes across as someone that likes what they do and just doesn't try to sell you something.
Activity breeds results. If you're not doing anything, you're not going anywhere.
Just made me want to start networking, which I never thought I'd say before.
A networking strategy that works for you.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Hello and welcome back to, where are we?
We are back after our first commercial break, and we're here interviewing Taren.
Yes, we're on the variety show, and I want to say hello to Moya Prunell, Mohammed Kofri, Samuel Orlando, Mohammed Kitch, Shusantar Kumar, and David Biganati. Thank you for watching. We're glad you're here. So we're here with the Goddess of Time. And before the break, I mentioned that I really need some serious help when it comes to organizing emails into folders, and I don't know how to do it.
Taren, we can't hear you.
Well, let's try that again.
Can you hear Taren?
My mic was still on commercial break. So sorry about that, ladies. So Dr. Jacalyn, what type of email service do you use? Is it Outlook, Gmail?
So I have Outlook and I have Gmail.
Okay.
Why?
They all work fairly similarly, but sometimes they're just a little bit different. So in both, you're going to be able to create folders. So, and do you have staff, or is it that checks your email, or do you do that?
I check the email myself.
Okay. So, a couple of ideas of folders you could maybe set up, whether it's level of priority, right? Things I need to check immediately, real person folder, take action folder. It could be a industry news folder, or right, highlights folder. So you can create any folder that you want, and that'll be off to the side. But then to actually create the rules, what you're going to do is, as people send you an email, it's just a right click on your mouse on the email, and it'll say, create a rule every time this person's name comes in, this content name comes in, this magazine name comes in, it goes into whichever specific folder you've designated. So create folders first. It could be trial and error. You might find that something's lingering that you meant to take advantage of or do right away. For myself, I have staff, so I have a Taren action folder. And the only items that go in there are specific clients that I'm working on now, anything that I need immediately, anything that they can do goes into their action folder. And then there are some ancillary folders that we work through as well. While you're in your inbox, if you're not using even if you are using your ticking timer now, A couple of other things that work really well. Yeah, I heard the snapping. If you're in your email and you're working on it, you're going to start getting a bunch of emails into your inbox. So the more you can keep going out into separate folders instead of coming into your inbox, the less distracted you'll get. So if you have to create a bunch of folders, that's great. It could be, I want to check these monthly, right? Those are topics, or maybe some of the industry partners, something that's not as relevant. This is my weekly check folder. Every Friday, I'm going to check this. This is my daily folder. This is my 3 times a day folder. You can really break it down and be as creative as you want, whatever works for you, but get the folder started and then right click, dump them into the folders. And from here on out, they'll go in. And then you only see what's in the folder you're focusing on at the time and what's coming into the inbox. So
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Thank you. I took some notes. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I was really hoping that Taren, I could give you my password and you could do that. No such luck today.
It's a good idea, Lori.
Yeah.
I want to hear about your younger years. You had talked about that you raised 2 little ones on your own.
I did.
Let's talk about that.
Sure. So they're awesome. 25 and 21. My son is Devin. He's the 25-year-old. My daughter is Gigi. So they were very active. Again, our family unit was 3. We moved around as I grew and our level of home was able to grow with us. We started out in a 2-bedroom apartment when we first got divorced in a neighborhood that most people wouldn't want to walk around in, but it was ours and it was home, and it just kept growing and growing with them. I always made sure that they came first. They might tell you differently, but kids, right? No, but it was they were busy. So baseball, singing, concerts, running around, and it was just very different because we didn't have that second driver. I didn't have any financial support. The child support wasn't coming in fact, really never did. So it helped a lot to have a strong family system. So I have 6 siblings. There are 7 of us. My grandmother was still alive at the time. And so I did have a lot of support and help if I ever needed to work an evening or have last minute, they need to get somewhere, make a change. But it was just very quiet, very quaint. We tried to travel every year. And for us, that meant the U.S. I didn't have a big travel budget when they were little. So I've been to 27 U.S. states. My son has been to 20, I believe it's 21, and my daughter's been to 18. And we have a beautiful country. May as well go see it. And yeah, that was our fun. We camped, we hung out, and we watched a lot of movies with popcorn on the couch. Life was good.
Thank you for sharing that.
I love that story. I bet you're an amazing mother, and I love the fact that you traveled every year, that you had time for a vacation.
Yeah, it's so important.
Taren, what I want to know is, you've been through a lot, right? If you look at what you just talked about, when did you realize you had turned the corner, that things were going in an upright mode?
Oh, that's an excellent question.
Yeah, it is. Sure is.
That's why I do this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. That's why you're the interviewer, right? That's a really good question. So I guess if I really were honest, there would be a handful of benchmarks. The first time was the day that, I was in my 9-to-5 job, getting an hourly paycheck, realizing I can't do this forever, but I have no idea what I want to be when I grow up. And if I take the wrong step, will my kids starve? So the day I finally chose to take action on that was really empowering. It was a decision. And if you believe in the power of decision or the power of positivity, all of that. Once I decided, there was no stopping me. But there were a series of moments through that, right? That was step 1. And then I realized, okay, I can do this outside sales type position, and I'm starting to make good money, and our life is growing, and the kids are, I'm able to do more for them, and that's exciting and amazing, but I want more. So then I decided to take more action. So I would say it was that first time deciding to get out of the hourly protective pay, right? That guaranteed paycheck was when things really started to spiral upwards.
That is phenomenal. So I always like to relate everything to the audience. So right now, we've got people all over the world who are not happy at what they're doing, can't wait to do something else to find their passion, but they've got the paycheck and they've got the benefits. So take us back to that moment you just described when you're sitting, I don't know if you're at a desk, you're driving, you're wherever you are. What did you say? Like, because anybody could say, yeah, I'm going to leave, but then they never do. But you took the action. So where did you find that strength, that courage to do that?
So I had decided, I had friends in the real estate industry at the time, and this was before the 2008 crash. We're going back a handful of years, and money was good. I watched their lifestyle. I watched their families and their kids, and I knew the lingo, right? Because I had been around quite a few of them, and I started getting really interested in it. But you don't just go from being an optician, a nurse for an eye doctor, to being a loan originator at a mortgage company. And how does that even work? So I was on a date, and it was a first date with somebody. Kids didn't know. They never knew I dated for years, but grandma had them for dinner. And I go out on this first date, and the movie we were going to see was sold out. It was opening night. It was sold out. So we ended up at this little martini lounge that had just opened, waiting, or just trying to figure out what we were going to do for the night. Run into some people. The gentleman I was on a date with was really social. I was really social. And we start talking to these two other gentlemen at the bar. One of them owned a mortgage company. And I said, I was just saying I wanted to get into that business. And we chatted for a little while, and he liked my confidence. He literally said, I like your personality. When can you start? And it was just having the confidence and having an interest or a passion for something outside of that. And then opportunity presented itself. It is, if you throw it out to the universe, it'll bounce back at you. And that truly happened in that moment. And I got licensed within a month and was working for him, and that it didn't take much. It was just that little nudge of meeting the right person at the right time.
I love that.
It's divine intervention.
It is. Yeah.
It really is.
What happened with the guy?
I love that. What did you say, Jacalyn? What
happened with the guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a long story. So we dated a total of about 7 years, 3 years before my kids knew about him.
How do you keep it quiet?
Wow.
They just knew they were going to hang out at grandma's house. I didn't know what mom was up to. So then a couple years, they got to know him, and then we moved in together, and that was the beginning of the end of that relationship.
Oh my. Yeah. I was kind of wondering if that guy was the catalyst to get you into the new career, and then you never saw him again. It was just so you can meet those two guys at the bar.
Yeah, that would have been a different version to the story. Like, choose your own ending. Which one would I have chosen?
But it's so true that if you, like you just said, Lori, put it out to the universe. I've got a white Maserati with red leather interior. It's out into the universe. There it is.
Go get it, girl. Go get it. I can see you driving that.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. Does anyone know about the Jim Carrey story where he was living in his car? Do you ladies know about
he wrote himself a check?
He wrote himself a check, yes, for I think $1 million or $3 million.
Or more, yeah.
And after doing Dumb and Dumber, he looked in his wallet. He had completely forgotten about it, and he saw it, and he said, "I can cash this check now."
Wow, that's
it. Yeah, it's a great story.
That.
Yeah, it really is a great story. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I want to ask Zink a question. Zink,
Zink, come here. He's coming back, Dr. Jacalyn. Here he is. Okay, hold on.
I want to know if we can use Zink's tail as a timer.
Oh, that's great. It's not wagging.
No, he's not wagging.
No, he's not. No.
Nothing going on. All right.
No. Little bit would be a better timer tail. Or
that's good. Timer tail. Taren, I'm also wondering, when you think of productivity, when people, hello, who's this beauty?
This is Joey. If we're showing off puppies, he had to meet him.
Joey, so pretty. Joey. We love you, Zink. We love you.
We do love
Joey. Oh.
Yeah.
I wish I could show you what I have. I have a stuffed owl that's over there. But I have to take off my headphones to go and get it.
Oh, it's too funny.
Yeah, you forget you're plugged in sometimes. I made that mistake earlier and knocked my whole water over.
Yeah, I used to have my water here on this desk, but it's like now I put everything over here because you never know. You just never know.
You don't.
But I wanted to ask you, when clients come to you, what is the most common issue or challenge that people have in terms of productivity?
More often than not, when they're coming to me, it's because they're in absolute overwhelm. They don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. I would say that's the starting point for most, especially solopreneurs, right? They're wearing too many hats, they're doing too many things, and they just don't know that there's an end in sight. And we get them out of overwhelm. If I'm working with teams, it's usually more about revenue. My team could be producing more. What are they doing wrong? And if you think about it, if they were using their time a little more wisely, they could just make one more call, one more sale. But usually it's overcoming overwhelm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have enough time in the day. There aren't enough hours.
But Karen, here's a problem with an entrepreneur or solopreneur. Mm-hmm. That we think that we can do it all. And we can't. There are certain things, like I just hired a social media strategist who's doing all of my Instagram, and now she's doing Facebook for me.
Yeah.
She does so much better than I would ever do. And the time that it would take for me to learn it is well worth the money that I'm spending on her doing Instagram for me.
Hands down. You hit the nail on the head, Lori. And I think that's the first question I tend to ask people. I challenge them. Even if they say, well, I can do it all, so I don't need to spend the money, or I can do it all. So whatever the secondary reason is, because I can do it all because or so, I challenge them. Why do you want to? Yeah. You went into business, Lori, to be a matchmaker, right? A dating coach. Yes. You didn't go into business to be a social media person. You didn't go into business to be a bookkeeper, a janitor, the filing person, right? You didn't go into business for any of that. If you really, truly want to do it, love what you do, right? Do what you do for a living is what you do in life. If you really want to do that, then you just focus on the one or two things you do in your business. That's it. Everything else can get delegated or automated. And you'll make more money by doing it.
You do. Hire your non-genius.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I have 5 coaches that I've been working with. And my thing is, when you asked about the emails, I'm so neurotic. Everything has to, I still feel like I have to have control, and I just gave up control of my MailChimp account and my Hootsuite. I think it's called, yeah. Yes. So and I'm also in the process of looking for interns on some website. What's it called? Acadia or something, or
Acelity?
Something with an A-C, something or other, I forget. I want to say hello to my dear friend, Diane Floyd-Beam. She's the one who put the little heart there. Hi, Diane. We miss you. She's so great. She and I are starting a new show, which tentatively calling Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, Fashion, Fitness, Travel, and Leisure. This way you get people from all.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I also want to say hi to Charles. I'm sleeping now. Can't you tell? Because I don't have Botox. Look, soon I'll be wide awake. You'll be like, whoa, she got her face done. Yes. When? April 12th. Check me out after that. I want to say hi to Charles, Denny, and Idris Ibish. Thank you for watching. It's awesome. So our time is quickly going by, as always.
Yeah.
So Taren, for everybody who's out there listening and watching, what's another productivity tip? You gave a great one with that timer.
Thank you.
What's one just little tweak people can do? You also mentioned about the phone. You gave a lot of good ones. Don't bother coming up with another one because you know why? They can hire you if they want to know more. But what's the best way to reach you? And remember, we're on radio also, so if you can give the information so people listening can find you too.
Certainly. If you want to just go out to the website, there's a Talk to Taren button. You can press there. It'll get you on my calendar. The website is ticktockitstime.com. And it's TICKTOCK, like a ticking clock, not like the app. By the way, I named and founded the company before I knew TikTok, the app, was a thing. It has, however, driven people to the website, so I'm not mad about it.
Yay!
Right. So TikTokitstime.com. That's one way. If you're a social media person, go on out to Facebook, Instagram. You can find me at Calendar Guru. And I'm on LinkedIn as well. You'd look for Taren Sartler, TikTok It's Time. And I'm happy to connect with anyone. Hello at TikTok It's Time is how you'd email me. And I'm happy to answer some questions and have a good coffee meeting with some people and see if there's a fit.
Taren, share with us when someone starts to work with you, what does that process look like? And are you working with people globally?
Sure. As long as there's not a language barrier. And I will work virtually if they're local and they prefer to work in person. Given the nature of everything going on, we just make sure everyone's in a safe environment. But yes, location does not matter. The process is really, it's a deep dive. So everybody's story is different, and I treat everyone as a unique person and situation. So although the system is the same, the outcome is always very different for them. We sit down and we literally go over everything they do in a day, a week, a month, a year, personally, professionally, the things they want to be doing that they're not getting done yet. So whether it's self-care, more time with family, a date night with their spouse or loved one, more time with the dogs, working out, things that people aren't putting in the calendar. And then I sit with them and we literally lay out an ideal calendar, and I show them where the gaps are in their processes, what they could be automating and delegating. I connect them with the right people. Sometimes it's a matter of a mindset coach. If they have those challenges where they're not willing to relinquish control, maybe there's a reason behind that. So I connect them with people that can help them through the parts of challenges that aren't my strength. I just believe in having a good team around me to help them to their fullest.
Everybody out there, you better get it together and contact Taren, because you don't realize how much time and money you're wasting by doing things the same old way in the rabbit hole. So
That's right.
So thank you, Goddess of Time. I am so.
There's another thing.
Oh, hello. Oh, look at the Oh, so sweet.
Okay.
You're both surrounded by love. Isn't that nice?
Yes.
And I've got this stuffed owl. It keeps going, who? I'm like, who are you talking about? Who? Well, it's been a pleasure, and let's stay in touch. I'd love to have you on our show, A Better You, Lessons from the Best Coaches, Consultants, and Trusted Advisors, where you do a 15-minute presentation to educate us. And then we take your lessons and put them in a playlist and put them on a Better You University. So I'll reach out to you on that.
I appreciate it.
So thank you again, Goddess of Time. Any last words you want to say to Lori?
Not at all. Just great to see your face, Lori. Dr. Jacalyn, thank you so much. You are a great interviewer. I feel like I want to interview you and learn more. So we'll do that off mic.
All right. That sounds great. Thank you, Taren. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a great night.
You too. And Lori, what's the best way to get in touch with you? And don't forget about your ever growing following on Clubhouse and on my Facebook page with men from all over the world. Spotlight on you, my friend.
Oh my God, Dr. Jacalyn, how do I even answer that? So, well, thank you. The way that I'm afraid to give out my phone number now.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
These international men of mystery after me. So the best way to reach me is at my website, which is smartfunnysingle.com. You can email me, you can, request time to speak to me, etc. I can be found on Clubhouse. My handle is Matchmaker Lori. And speaking of Clubhouse, I have a weekly show. This week is just all and out fun Q&A with actual therapists, psychologists, psychotherapists, just talking about being older, dating, and how we really learn to love ourselves. So we're really great to be matched and to find love. So I hope people will join us. There were a lot of people on. The funny thing is, Dr. Jacalyn, last week it was the sex show, and there were 69 people who showed up. How ironic is that?
Woo, I love it. Well, I couldn't be there because of the fact that I had to take my mom for her shot. But let me come back over here. But I was in the week before, and that room was getting hot.
Yeah, it was. So I really hope everyone will join. You know, Dr. Jacalyn, I don't know about you, but are you finding that on Clubhouse, people are just, you almost want to say, whoa, just stop talking because you're just saying way too much. Are you finding that?
Definitely. And I'm also finding, this just happened to me. I raised my hands and I was called up on the stage and they left me there for like 35 minutes. And then I asked a question about this event, this 10,000 person event that I was in the hospitality room. And I said, hey, I really need some assistance. We're planning this event. And the guy who was running the room, he said, I don't have any experience in that area. Let's go to the next person. And nobody else on the panel was even able to weigh in on anything. I thought that's very strange.
You see, now that's a waste of time. Taren could have helped us with that.
Yes, she could have. You know, Taren could be in those Clubhouse rooms, basically checking. Let's bring her back for a moment.
Okay.
Hello. let's just talk about how you could go into each Clubhouse room and then write up a list of notes to give to the person running that and say, listen, you need to hire me, because this room is not productive. It's not being run in a productive manner.
Yeah, it's true. Taren, are you on? You're on Android though, aren't you?
We can't hear her.
Yeah,
I did again.
There you are. There you are.
Woo,
I thought it was me. I'm like, I have to have my ears checked. Okay.
No, tell me.
Taren,
What's that?
are you on Android?
I'm on Android, so
Yeah.
I'm not allowed. I could borrow my daughter's iPhone, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Go ahead. But you're not wrong. I mean, people have to understand the reason for their networking. Are they there for community? Are they there for education? Are they there to make revenue? And if you're not there for the right reasons or in the right rooms, you won't get what you need out of it. So somebody needs to go in and start
knocking some heads. I agree. All right. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate you.
Well, you two are fun to listen to. I could just sit back and do that. I'll have to grab a glass of wine.
Listen, I've said that before, but I'm just concerned about drinking on the air. I was thinking about that. So that's why we haven't done it. Because Lori and I have said, hey, it's Friday night. You know, why not? But I don't know, because we're on the air. But guess what? I'm not going to say the names of this show, but aren't there people in the morning who they drink on the morning show?
Do they? See, I'm not a big television person, so.
Yeah, I don't watch TV at all anymore, except I watch my own shows downstairs on the big screen on YouTube with my mother. But no, I just know from when I did that these two women were drinking it like early in the morning. They have people come in and make special kinds of drinks, and they didn't get in trouble. So, yeah.
Oh. Wow. Must have been from Wisconsin. They were.
It could have been.
Right.
We're just trying all our new breweries.
Where everything we do involves alcohol. Oh, you're mowing the lawn? Grab a beer.
Oh, you're working on your productivity skills? Time to drink.
Yes. Take the edge off.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we hope that you'll come back. Please book again, and feel free to book on any other shows. You're a great guest. You've got a wonderful personality and a great energy that's coming from you, Goddess of Time.
Indeed.
I'm not even going to call you Taren anymore. You're just Goddess of Time today.
I've got a T-shirt. That's cool.
Yeah, I think that is cool. I like how during this time we're able, like, I'm Dr. Jacalyn. That's what I go by. I actually am finding all my emails, I'm signing Dr. Jacalyn, and I'm thinking, really? Don't you think that's strange? Shouldn't you be able to differentiate between, I'm like, no, actually, that's who I've become. That's right. I paid $125,000 for it. That's
use it. You've earned it.
Yes. Thank you.
Very proud. Yes.
I'll let you both go. I look forward to seeing you both again soon. And I will come into your hot sex house. I mean, your sex club on Sundays at 9 Central, 10 Eastern.
That's right. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn.
Thank you.
Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you, ladies. Have a good evening.
See you later. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you all for watching. We had 4 fabulous shows today, even if one was just me talking about myself. So I really appreciate you all being here. And I just want to remind you of a few things. We do have shows every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And as I mentioned, we have a new show coming out with my co-host, Diane Floyd-Bame, tentatively calling it Fashion, Fitness, Travel, and Leisure. I want to see what Diane thinks about it. And that'll be next week. We're looking at, I think, Wednesday at 7:30. So stay tuned for that. Also, I just want to remind you to be good to each other, take care of one another, and go to drjacalyn.com. You can contact me if you're looking for some type of support. I run a support group. If you just want to come on the air and share your story, we'd love to have you. Also, you can find me on Clubhouse Sunday at 8 p.m. for Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, A Better You. To my charter presenters from A Better You, thank you. To our fans, to our followers, God bless you. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful evening. If you celebrate Easter, have a special, wonderful day. I'm not sure if Passover is over yet, but whatever you're celebrating, please enjoy with friends and family safely. Thank you, and we'll see you again soon.
Every day, it was the same old story. I worked hard to make sure no one noticed what I was dealing with, but my stomach never cared where I was. And the pain just kept coming. After too many close calls and even weight loss, I had to do something. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation helped me realize what was going on and even helped me find a specialist. Don't hide your symptoms. Get help at spillyourguts.org.